I'm just trying to live it heavenly in the unknown. God is with me everywhere. This place is where I call home. This place is where I call home. This place is where I call home. I'm thankful for the unknown. So thankful for the unknown.
And 3, and 2, and 1. I gotta get an intro, bro. I have no intro whatsoever, bro. I don't know what it is, bro. I just be like this is gonna be the intro, bro.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out as we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll keep brainstorming.
Yeah. I just feel like, I don't know, because I don't want it to be like
authentically come.
yeah, because some people be like, what's up, everybody? And I'm not doing it.
Authentically come.
I'm not doing it, bro. Yeah. But yes, we are back. I don't know what episode this is. I'm doing it out of order right now until we get like a little system down. Don't be hating, bro. We just started. We're back with the boy, the one and only James Ford. Yeah, I really need. Who said I need that button? I was like, remember,
Derek.
Oh, bro, I need to get that, bro.
Derek.
Yes, sir. James.
Mm-hmm.
How are you?
How am I? You said no short answers, right?
No short answers, but you can answer this question. We're gonna get into those questions. We're gonna get to those.
I just gotta make
this.
I will give a short answer.
Yeah. Give a short, not short, but how are you? How you been doing?
How am I doing?
Yeah. How are you doing?
I'm doing my best. That's been my new answer recently.
That's good.
I'm doing my best in my life right now. That's what I am.
Yeah.
So I'm content, not satisfied, but I'm content.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm just doing my best, man.
Yeah. So do you want the deep questions first? You want to start off there?
This your pod. I'm ready for whichever.
I know. I give people. I'm gonna start giving people. I think I might do that. Like, you want to do this right now? You want to go straight into it, or you want to
I don't like small talk. So I guess
that is very true.
Yeah. Me personally, I don't like.
What people don't know is me and James have known each other for
about almost a year, bro. Ain't that crazy?
Crazy, bro.
Ain't that crazy? all of us. Yeah, we all met around the same time. The same day I met both of you.
He said all of us. Bryce said no.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Be crazy.
Yeah.
We're gonna have him on very soon. This is gonna be a special episode. Yeah. Almost a year, bro. That's crazy. Met. Tell them how we met. Let's see.
B group. B group. I was reluctant to go to. Shout out to David Davis.
Yes, sir.
He's the one who got me to. It was his B group and Bryce. Yeah. And he asked me for probably about 2-3 months. You had to ask him, but at least he just kept coming back like, man, all right, I ain't trying to press you, but just think about it, just come through. So finally he hit me up at a Saturday men's brunch.
Yeah.
It was like this coming Tuesday if you're not doing anything. This was like last February.
Yeah.
He was like, it's just chill. It's nothing serious. We just be hanging out. So I pulled up, and it was only the 4 of us. It was David Davis, me, you, and Bryce. That was the first meeting we had. Yeah. I think that was y'all's second time meeting.
Mikhail was there?
Not the first time. It was just us. And all of us, I think low-key, none of us wanted to be there.
It was very interesting.
I don't think it was anything personal, but it was all right, I think we should go.
Space.
Yeah. None of us had done that before.
Yeah.
And I found that out later, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, we met there,
Dang.
and we had some conversations about life.
Yeah.
Like the first conversation, and from then on, it was like, okay, this was divine for sure.
Right.
I'm glad I came.
Right.
But I remember being on the way there, like driving, thinking, I don't think I want to do this.
Yeah.
What's the point of me going to talk to some dudes I don't know? Like, It changed my life, bro.
Yeah. That same B group, David actually was the one who told me about it too. I think Bryce also mentioned it too. And I remember thinking, like, I ain't never been a part of a B group.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was just like, I don't even know. At that time, I didn't even know if I could be, because I was I an intern? No, I wasn't an intern. I was out of internship.
Yeah.
I didn't know how real I was going to be. Like, it was just like, if I'm going to go in here, am I going to be, like, just to myself, or am I, like, actually going to, like, engage in the group? And you're completely right. I am so thankful for Bryce and David, because everyone in that B group still talks to this day. And that was a year ago. Like, we still do stuff to this
outside
day.
of the B group set.
Bro, outside of the B group. David said something that was beautiful. He was like, I don't want this to be a B group, I want this to be a life group. And I think that was a very real thing. And because I think a lot of people do B groups, and not to like already kind of like jump on people, but I think people do B groups and they still show up a version of themselves. They don't show up themselves. And so even when we showed up with them 4, that is crazy. It was us 4. We showed up very real. You showed up very real. Like, I don't know if I want to be here.
Yeah, for sure.
And for me, I was kind of like, I'm glad somebody said it. And it wasn't because of the people. It was because of it was like inner things that we was going through at the time. You know how that be, like, very real. Like, I don't know if this place is gonna be safe. I think for men, the real big thing is like safeness. How you feel about that? Like the safeness part of it. Like, cause I know, me knowing you for a year now, I know for you to open up, you have to feel safe.
Yeah, for sure.
In the sense of, I have to trust you. I have to be able. You have to be a man of your word. Like, you have to. There's an honor system almost for you. So talk about that for a little bit of like what it means, what the safeness can do for someone, what the safeness did for you. Yeah. Talk about that.
I don't think as a what am I, 27 now?
Yeah.
I didn't realize I needed a place to be vulnerable.
Wow.
That's not something that was on my mind. I went to that. Something, the Holy Spirit, I think it is now, was telling me that I needed accountability. So that's the furthest I went in my thought. But it was nothing deeper than that.
Yeah.
It was like, okay, so I need to be around other godly men that ain't super religious.
Right.
That can hold me accountable. And other than that, I don't know why I'm doing this.
Right.
And what I didn't realize was that was a safe space for me to open up about things that a lot y'all know stuff that like my parents don't know. Yeah. Like, there's people that have known me almost my whole life that don't know stuff y'all know.
Yeah.
So I didn't realize how much that was needed. So for me, it is a superpower. I think that's Tim Ross, or it was that Michael Todd that says vulnerability is my superpower. One of them, I heard them say.
Both probably have said it, but I think maybe Tim says it more.
I think Tim. So but that's how I feel. Like, that space that started to appeal. It was almost like therapy for me.
Yeah.
For people who can't afford therapy, B group is gonna be your best bet right now.
Yeah, bro.
This is like your stepping stone.
Yeah.
Until you can get on your feet and start going to somebody one-on-one. But this has been my therapy.
That's good. I like that. I like the fact that you said it's a B group can replace for a time therapy. Yeah. And I completely agree. Because you could go in a version of yourself, but if you actually buy into the B group, if you actually buy into the people, if you actually let your walls down, it does become therapy. You became, I remember we were talking about something in the first couple of nights, and I remember being like, I know I'm supposed to be here because of God was asking me to do something, bro. I can't remember exactly what it was verbatim what I said, but I knew the B group was, if I didn't go to the B group, I wouldn't have unlocked that superpower that you're talking about. I wouldn't have got that vulnerability piece that allows me to be able to sit here, even do this with you. Like you've been behind the scenes with us throughout all of this. It's like there's been a real vulnerable is a must. Like, transparency is a must, because if you don't allow yourself to be vulnerable and transparent, you end up building things on the inside. You're gonna explode one day. Very much so. I mean, we've all done it. Very much so. That was actually a really good answer. Not that you don't give really good answers. That was actually like really, really good. All right, we're going straight into it. We got too deep already. The first question, we always ask people is, who are you?
Okay.
And that's not a short answer. You can't give a short answer, because when you ask that, the reason, and you know why we ask that, but I kind of want to explain for anybody new watching, is the reason we ask who you are is because when you tell someone that, they have two choices. Am I going to be real, or am I going to be a version of me? And when you do that, when you actually sit and think about your answer, you go into that space of like, is it safe enough for me to actually say who I am and what I've been through? So James, I know you feel safe enough. You can try to give a short answer. That's crazy. Who are you? Who is James Ford?
I'm honestly still figuring that out. Yeah, I'm currently in this season of my life searching for who I really am.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a son, I'm a husband.
Yeah. Shout out husband.
A son to my earthly parents and God.
Yeah.
I don't like religious terms, so I'll say I'm a Christ lover.
Yeah.
I'm a Jesus lover, not a Christian per se.
Yeah.
But I'm an artist.
Yeah.
I'm a lover most of all.
Yeah.
I love people genuinely.
He's an artist. Look, it was on his hoodie. He designed it.
Yeah. Lead with love. I try to do that. I don't always succeed in that, but yeah. So I'm a lover. I think I'll go with that. I'll go with that.
Love?
Yeah, I'm a lover.
You're a lover?
Uh-huh.
I like that.
I love people.
I believe it. James definitely, you do have and I think that's why I text you when I feel like the Holy Spirit told me to text you that first time ever.
Yeah, I remember that.
There was something about you that, I don't know what it was. Maybe I saw a version of myself in you, or saw some of me in you. It was, I don't know what it was, but I texted you or sent you a voicemail or something like that.
It was a voice memo.
It was like, yo, bro, I don't know what it is. Like, I don't know what this is for real. It was the first time I ever done something like that for real too.
Mm-hmm.
I said, yo, bro, I feel like God told me to reach out to you. And we supposed to go chop it up and get breakfast Friday. Don't worry about it. I got it. Like, and that became our thing.
Yeah, it became routine.
Bruh, which is crazy, bro, because we had just met each other.
It's probably been like 2 weeks, maybe max.
That's
it was like
wild,
it was like brand new.
But when you get, this is something that I not always said, like, but it's something I say like in the comfort of my own space to Alex, my girlfriend, is your spirit knows when a good spirit is around.
Yeah, for sure.
Spirits intertwine always, right? So why would, like, we say that that there's bad spirits that could latch on to our spirit, like our good spirit. Why can't a good spirit latch on to a good spirit? And I'm a firm believer in that.
Yeah.
And I think my spirit saw, oh yeah, there's something in James that you need and or he needs. And I said, bet. Like, I don't really know how this is gonna go. I don't know what this nigga finna say to me. Like, I don't know. And Friday turned into Friday. Then it turned into, we actually do life now.
Yeah,
which
it's
is
just
like
normal.
It's like very normal. So what in you not made you be open with me, but what in you after, like, in that B group setting, what was the turning point in your mind that said, I'm gonna do this for real. Like, I'm gonna be true to me for real. Like, I'm gonna live this life and I'm gonna live it right. Because not everybody knows your background. So even if you want to lead with your background a little bit, and then kind of tell them when that time came where you was like, okay, no, I'm gonna do this right.
I think I moved out here. We're in Tulsa, in case y'all didn't know that. But
shout out to you, Tim.
I've been in Tulsa for, it'll be 3 years.
Yeah.
Oh dang, no, December. It's been 3 years now.
Wow.
December 19th made 3 years.
Okay.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah,
so I moved out here. I was originally selling weed legally.
Yeah.
I was the top salesman for the company
Legally.
that I work with. You can look them up, Stability Cannabis.
Legally.
I got promoted from in-store supervisor to outside sales. They decided to relocate. They gave me Employee of the Year and was like, we want to relocate to Tulsa. You're our guy. You're the face of the company. We'll pay for your move. So
Well, entrepreneur.
they gave me 2 bands. I moved out here and thought, okay, finna make a living doing this the rest of my life. I'm gonna stack some bread. I'm gonna start my own business selling. After 5 months.
Two bands is $2,000 for all.
Oh, my bad.
Caucasian.
$2,000.
I know some of y'all don't know what 2 bands is. $2,000.
$2,000, which ain't that much, but it was enough to move out here.
$2,000 ain't nothing.
No. After I paid first month's rent, that was pretty much gone. But we not even going. I thought that was a lot of money at the time, but no. So they put me out here. Also was like, we're going to put you on a $40K salary. So I really was like, I never been on salary.
Legally.
I didn't understand tax brackets. They ran this business like a corporate business. So I'm like, 40 bands. I'm telling my girlfriend at the time, yo, we finna be good. You don't have to work. 40 bands, y'all. 40,000. I literally told her,
you can stay at home.
I said, you take your time, find you a job you want. I'm really in my head like, yo, I'm good. Man, the first check comes, it's like $1,200. I'm like, oh, so I'm asking my boss. They're like, oh yeah, the tax bracket, actually you make less than what you did working hourly because there's more taxes take. Man, bro, after 5 months, not only was I broke, but they had a failed expansion.
Wow.
They did not prepare well moving out here. I didn't ask enough questions, so I just went head first.
Yeah.
And so my life flipped upside down, and that was when I turned back to God. I was kind of drifting away because I got engulfed in that life. It was sales, so I was going door to door, essentially. So I'm going to dispensaries. I'm going to like 100 dispensaries a week. I'm not boosting at all. I'm at a day, 20 to 30 dispensaries a day because I'm just going everywhere that I can to try to sell something. So after doing all of that, it failed. I didn't have very much to show for it. It caused me to sink back into depression because I went from like being on the top of the mountain to, well, why did you move me out here if you knew this was going? Because this is God we're talking about. So I'm like, you're all knowing. Why did you allow me to do this?
Yeah.
So I remember, I don't think I ever told y'all this. I had a gun in my hand. Like I went and found my wife's gun. And she walks in the house. I'm sitting on the floor in my living room like, I think this may be, I don't know why I'm here.
Yeah.
I done told this girl she didn't have to work, so she had no job. After they laid me off, we're like, what's going to happen? And I literally was like, okay, God, I'm going to give you my life back. In that moment, I'm going to give you my life back. She called my cousin. What saved me was she called my cousin. Shout out my cousin Jasmine in Texas.
Shout out Jasmine in Texas.
And we're really close. We're more like siblings. And my wife didn't know what else to do. So she called her. She said, your cousin's about to kill himself and I don't know what to do. And she said one phrase to me that woke me up. She said, the devil got you by the ball sack, don't he? And I was like, it just caught me off guard because people don't say stuff like that.
You off guard.
But I was like,
the devil got you.
I said it. I guess I'm angry at the time, trying to ignore it, but I couldn't ignore that phrase. And I'm like, you know what he do? I'm really tripping over one bad experience.
Wow.
So that it just something in my head clicked, and I said, you know what? I just need to lock back in. Maybe I just need to start from ground zero. So I started working at Goodwill. I started going to church for the first time in 6 months. I had been there, Transformation Church.
Yes, sir.
It was my first time in that arena. I walked in to all the series. I just told y'all about the financial hardships. The first series I walk in on unknowingly was Cuff to Cash.
Crazy story.
Cuff to Cash. I walk in. I sit at the very top. This is like in a stadium, basically, arena. So I'm at the top of the arena. Pastor Mike's doing an illustration that involves giving away $1,400. And the guy he had on stage, he told, pick somebody random out the crowd. Anybody that God leads you to. And mind you, I'm with my wife. We're at the top, the highest you can go in the arena. I'm sitting in that seat. And this
We
man
were still kind of not filling it up all the way at the time.
This
he
was
in that last section.
Yeah, no, I'm like right corner all the way. I don't know how this dude. I had on this beanie. Funny enough, I did not do that on purpose. I had on this beanie, but the light was shining up there, so he thought it was orange. He goes, the guy in the orange beanie up there. And I got on the red beanie, so I'm looking behind me like, okay, cool, whoever this is. And he's like, no, you the guy turning around. And from that moment forward, that said to me, God was saying, I see you.
Yeah.
All the mistakes I had made, I hit rock bottom. That moment was like, okay, no, okay, you got my attention.
That's so crazy.
This is crazy.
Yeah.
So from that moment on, I met David Davis that same day for the first time.
Yeah.
He started kind of talking about B groups, but it wasn't until 3 or 4 months later that I actually joined. Yeah. But that was the moment, getting laid off, losing everything, stepping foot in Transformation Church my whole life. It's never been the same since.
Yeah. That's a crazy story. I remember that day. I was working with Charles, Pastor Charles. What's up with that? And I didn't know you at the time, but then I remember you showed the B group and told that story, and I thought, yeah, that was a lucky dude. Then I realized, oh wait,
nah, ain't no way that was luck. There's no way that was luck.
Yeah, no, that was. It's even crazy. Like, I don't know, bro. That's favor. It feels like too.
Mm-hmm.
Because you were in the back. Like, you were in the back where no one really gets called up from that.
Nah, not
because
from
it's
that
so
far.
far.
Yeah.
Like it's just like I can't even really see nothing out there. Bro, that is. But I think that also is a testament to the covering of God, the grace of God. Grace is a big word. And I don't know if we talked about it, grace yesterday. Maybe it was me and Alex just off here. We were talking about grace, and he was talking about grace is like the things that you don't deserve.
Mm-hmm.
But I think if God is an intentional God, I think there's a part of grace because it's something that you do deserve. Because of the times that have been hard, times of so yeah, I truly when I heard that was you, it made me even more excited because I already knew you, but then it was like, oh, like it's you. Like I'm actually with the dude. They got money. Like, that's crazy. What after you got the bread,
Yeah.
right? Because I would love to say you got the bread and it was life-changing bread. It was $1,400.
Oh, I love
Work.
nobody. Oh yeah. I get to tell this story.
Yeah, I was gonna say, $1,400. Talk me through the next couple. Talk me through what happened after that.
So I started learning about what we call seeds.
Yeah,
So I didn't blow the money. I actually was on assignment. There's an artist named Vashawn Mitchell.
yeah.
During that time that God put on my heart, I was supposed to serve.
Shout
I've
out
known
Vashawn.
him. Yeah, shout out Vashawn. I've known him since I was about 8-9 years old. And before I had won that money, the Holy Spirit in prayer told me, this fall, this was like during the fall season, I want you to serve Vashawn. I had just picked my camera back up. So Vashawn was doing a live recording. The album is out now, Chapter X.
Chapter X, go get it.
He was just recording that. So he was doing his first recording session. I volunteered. I texted him and was like, I don't know how I'm going to get there, but the Holy Spirit told me I'm supposed to serve you in the season. I'm coming to Detroit, Michigan, even if I got to drive, and I'm going to come do pictures. I don't want any money from you. And I'm told I'm supposed to come serve you.
Wow.
So I'm praying this whole time, right? That service happens. Now I have money to buy a flight. So I got the $1,400. The flight costs about $5 for a round trip. And then I needed a room. I mean, I paid for the room, the flight, the money was pretty much gone. And then I had to eat while I was there. My wife was actually upset because she didn't understand that concept. You know, he's laughing because he knows. She was not happy with me.
Yeah.
She's way more into God now than she was then. But at that time, it sounded like you're being selfish.
Yeah.
You're taking that money we just got.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, but I'm telling you, this finna pay off. Like, just give me. I know I heard God. So almost a year goes around before he actually puts the album out. But I believe that was a miracle because I prayed to be able to serve, and God provided the funds like maybe 2 weeks later.
Wow.
I remember being on the phone with Ron Poindexter,
Yeah.
and we're talking, and I'm like, bro, I just feel like God finna do. I don't have no money right now. I work at Goodwill retail store.
Wow. Shout out.
And I just told him I'm finna, and I literally flew, got a nice room.
Yeah.
So that was what happened with the money. It was a seed.
Yeah.
And then a year later, I'm running an online store for Vashawn Mitchell. He asked me to run his first ever merch store.
Yeah.
So it was a seed for sure.
Yeah.
And it also was my starting to photography, like picking the camera back up after like 6-7 years.
Yeah.
So
I love the word seed. Because I think seed, when you say sow a seed, I think people think money. But yours was time. I mean,
Yeah,
obviously
for
it
sure.
was money, but it was time.
gifting, using your gift to serve
Right.
other people.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And I think we kind of dilute seed because we only think money. It's like, okay, how can I give money to this person? I don't really have money. You can go sit and talk to that person.
Mhm.
You can go use your talents. You can go do all these different things. But it's the main thing that I heard in all of that was you felt like God told you to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Not many people understand your own wife. Not to say that she didn't, like, because you could have very much just been like, nah, like I ain't trying to hear all that, like, oh, I'm gone, like, but you broke it down to her even before you left, like, nah, like I promise you, I know this don't feel right now. I know it seems like I'm just using our money to go do something that, like, that seems very reckless. And in her eyes, it's probably like, hey, bro, we need that $1,400 for real. But
And we did. That's the
and
realest
you
thing.
did.
We did.
Yes.
It was a choice, and I
What?
just felt like I was not supposed to pay bills with that.
That's so crazy. I'd have had that thought these last couple months too. About take that money. You're not really supposed to pay bills with that. You're supposed to invest it. There's money that I was supposed to do other stuff with. Bro, we're sitting here doing this now.
Yeah.
But it's all because of when you feel like you hurt God. And sometimes you get it wrong.
Yeah,
There's times that we've gotten that heard God wrong. And that's okay too, because it's not always about getting it right. It's about building that faith muscle. Because you're gonna get it right one day, even if it ain't the first time, ain't the second time. You'll get it right. I love that. I love the fact that you were willing to step out on faith, even when the person next to you was kind of like, "Hey, I don't really know." He was like, "No, I promise you, like, we gonna see the reward in this. Like, we gonna see that." Yeah, no, I love that because it makes you value what you're doing at the time, but then it also makes you value what you get in return so much more. Because people don't know the time where people don't understand the by yourself time. Like, God, I really hope. I know you probably found it playing like, God, hey God, like, I'm out here.
I was excited, but man, I just kept thinking, God, is this really you?
Yeah.
Is this? Am I hearing you right, or am I just being impulsive?
Yeah.
Well, no, you wouldn't tell me to do something like this.
Right.
If
God would never tell you to give.
No.
Mike said that. Mike said that one time, bro, and it not ruined my like perspective on it, but it let me know the thing that I didn't want to do, I was supposed to do because it was from God. Because the devil would never tell you to give. God always tells you to give. So I love that. Second question.
Okay.
I say that like it's scripted. These are only really 2 questions. That really just kind of threw me off. Where are you? Where are you and I'll kind of give a little context. Where are you is the question we're asking too, because I think when you ask who you are, it makes you pick a version. It makes you pick either a version or it makes you actually be vulnerable. But then when you ask someone where you are, it's no longer about essentially who you decide to be, because it's who you decide to be is going through something no matter who you decide to be. That's not going to change. What you're going through is not going to change. You can change, but that situation is not going to change. So where are you in the sense of a year ago you were making faith moves? Where are you a year later, having made more faith moves in a year? We both know. Where are you on the outside of that, looking back or looking forward? Where are you in the sense of, all right, God, what are we doing? What do we got?
Yeah, well, that's where I am. I'm searching. I'm searching for what's next.
Yeah.
While learning how to be content. It's
Expound
hard.
on that.
It's hard for me to sit in one place too long.
Expound on that. There's so many people in the world like that. Like, talk through that though. Let people know the real feeling of not being able to sit, but then the real feeling of having to sit. Talk about that, because God might want you to sit down, even though you don't want to. So even talk about your experience with
that's what it feels like. My whole life I've been a workaholic.
Yeah.
2-3 jobs minimum.
Yeah.
I technically have 3 jobs right now, but the way that they're set up, they're seasonal. So it doesn't feel like I'm working 3 jobs.
Okay, yeah.
I substitute teach.
Yeah.
I work for a photography company, which is totally like basically contract based.
Yeah.
The school system when I'm subbing there's all kind of Christmas break, fall break, spring break, summer break.
Break.
And then I'm doing Uber Eats, which I mean you have your peaks and then you gotta.
Right.
So it's like even with everything, I'm not able to just go. I have to take an ample amount of time and be like, dang, okay, I just gotta sit here.
Right.
So I'm getting better. I'm a lot better than I was, I would say, a few months ago. But since the summertime, pretty much, it's been like, man, I've never had to sit down for so long that I started to realize this was intentional. This is God's way of saying there's something He wants me to be doing with this open time, but I'm trying to figure out what that actually is. So I'm just searching.
Yeah.
I'm learning how to be a better steward.
Yeah.
Of the things that I do have. I'm working on not complaining so much.
Yeah.
Because it's hard to work your butt off and you feel like you don't see much fruit from it.
Yeah.
So it's hard to be like I've read a scripture that says we're actually never supposed to complain.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how do you expect us not to?
Yeah.
So I'm learning how to be content and trying to figure out what God wants to do during this season of my life.
Yeah. I love that. I love that because it's always what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why. I mean, we talked about it in the first episode, but life is essentially going from one question to another question to another question to another question. Because as soon as you get settled, it feels like sometimes God is like, all right, we're on to the next. And we kind of get frustrated because it's like, God, why would you take me away from somewhere? He's like, because you haven't fully gotten everything out of you, and I'm the only one that can get everything out of you. So he's like, I gotta take you through different things. Now that we kind of got the questions out of the way, we can talk about how we just talk. Let's talk about, I want to dive deeper into what I was gonna say is pause worthy. So let me just first of all, I can say pause. It was about to be crazy. I want to be able to dive deeper. And it's crazy. I was gonna say something wild. I want to be able to dive deeper into you and wow, I still said it. You and your how do I put it? The last couple of months of life.
Oh, okay.
No specific situations, no nothing. What I want to know is what makes you get up and say, God, I surrender.
My marriage.
I didn't expect that answer, but I'm happy to hear why though. Shout out Candace.
No, yeah,
okay, go ahead. I'm ready for this.
No, I think I've always been ambitious, but it's something about the manhood in me is like, no, it's time. As far as time to mature, time to learn, time to focus.
Yeah.
All that stuff is heightened because I'm now responsible for another life.
Yeah.
And I know eventually, not anytime soon, hopefully, there's going to be kids involved.
Yeah.
But for now...
You see how you try to do that? Because that's been a conversation.
Yeah. So in the future. But yeah, my marriage, man, I don't want to mess this up. There's been times I've wanted to leave it.
Yeah.
And I'm saying that for the other newly married people or just married people in general that are like, don't talk about this stuff. I just got married in June. I've wanted to leave several times in the past 6 months.
Hey,
just being honest. I'm the guy that's going to say what you don't feel like you can say.
He going to say it all the time, bro.
But no, and it's every time I've thought about it, it's like more clear than any relationship I've left in the past. God is like, if you leave, just know I ain't tell you to do that.
Wow.
That's the only reason I'm staying.
Yeah.
It's not, there's no other reason that I've stayed this long.
Yeah.
And we've been together 3 years. It'll be 4 in April.
Yeah.
But the whole reason I've stayed in this is because I feel like this is divine. This is where I'm supposed to be for whatever the reason.
Yeah.
This is the woman he chose for me. So that's really, in a nutshell, why I'm so focused on getting right, per se.
Yeah. Talk about more of to the people that, or to the couple, to the man, to the woman, that is either just getting married, been in it for a year, or thinking about getting married. What advice? Because I mean, I think many people would say, "Oh, you really can't talk about it. You ain't been in it too long."
Yeah.
What do you mean? You've been in it for 3 years and you're married now. You have. I hate that whole stigma. You have to have skin in the game to be able to talk about something. You don't. The fact that we've been alive for this long lets me know I got skin in the game.
Yeah.
May not be as much as you, but I got skin in the game. So talk about what's the advice that you would give someone that's looking to get married or that is newly married and that might be going through something. What advice could you give to them?
I would say don't expect a honeymoon stage because I think it's different for everybody. I've heard a lot of stories about like the first year or they try to like calculate it. I'm waiting on the peaches and cream stage.
Really?
It's been difficult since day one.
Yeah.
My wife will tell you that herself. I don't know why,
Yeah.
but I feel like God is building a foundation
That's so good. Yeah.
to where we'll get to a point where like nothing phases us.
Yeah.
But we're getting to that point.
Yeah.
And right now everything is like, whoa, why is this? How come we can't just settle?
Yeah.
So I would say that. And then two, to embrace the process. Because I think although it's been hard, our bond gets strengthened
Yes.
by the day.
Yes, for sure.
Because we have made a decision together that unless God tells us to cut this off,
Yeah.
neither of us are going anywhere.
Yeah.
So don't expect a honeymoon stage and embrace the process is like, in a nutshell, what I would say, just to keep from like going on
Yeah.
babbling. But yeah, embrace it.
What would you also say to the man that is having a hard time figuring out if this is a relationship for him or not? Because many people, and I've committed, I don't know if I feel like I've committed you because I know your heart. The way that you stuck through all of this, all the things that y'all have been through, I commend that. Because I know there's dudes that I know and have done life with, or done life with like in the past, that would have gone through some of the things that you've gone through and given up. I honestly, there's a point in my life where I would have given up because there's just too much. Like, I'm not here to be dealing with my stuff, your stuff, our stuff. I ain't got time for all that. So obviously it's not me now. I love you here. But what would you say? Like, what advice would you give the man on being able to stick it through, or just being firmly rooted? Like what advice would you give to that man?
Ask for confirmation, like be specific. My stepmother actually taught me that when I was in high school. But like when I say be specific, you can be as weird as you want to be, but God is so big that you can ask him to do the weirdest things.
Yeah.
Because I psych myself out overthinking.
Yeah.
So if I really want to know if this is from God, I'll do something bogus like, okay, if this is from you, let this person call me and use this word while they're talking to me tomorrow at this time. Like, you can be as specific, and if God wants you to do it or not do it, he'll deliver that.
Yeah.
I've been at jobs where I'm like, okay, if I'm supposed to leave this job, this person gonna call in tomorrow.
So
this is a person that go to work every day. If they call in, I know that this is from you.
Yeah.
Just like the craziest stuff, but search for confirmation to know for sure that it's from God. And for the most part, he answers them. I don't think there's ever been a time where he didn't give me an answer for something he wanted me to do or not do.
Yeah.
So before you make any emotional decisions, make sure it's from God.
Yeah.
If it's from God, go.
Yeah.
But if you don't know, stay where you are.
Yes.
So that's
so good. I think that is when I heard you say when you don't know, or you say when you do know, go. When you don't know, stay. I think it's very real. I think those need to be printed and put in the Bible somewhere. When you don't know, don't make a rational decision because of external noise. Because then it almost puts you in a place of you talking to God and God being like, bro, I never told you. And God will make it very clear if he told you. Even if you don't fully know that he told you and you just act, he'll let you know. But you have to go to him. I think that's a very real thing that James said. You have to go to him. And I think sometimes it's hard to go to God with certain things because you don't want certain answers. Like when I went to God, this is the first time I'm doing this on. I went to God. Rather, God came to me first. God came to me and said, "Hey, you need to break up with this girl." I said, "You're out of your mind." because there's nothing wrong with her. Like there was nothing like wrong with us. There was nothing wrong with our relationship. And I remember actually being like, there's no way this is God. Like, there's no way. Like, I've worked so much to become this person, gotten out of all the different things I was in, and I'm with you. And God was like, yeah, all right, man, boom, done. And I said, I didn't know if God said that. So I went back and tried to keep talking to old girl while I was talking to God. And God said again, yo, be done with her. And I knew then when I felt like he said it, that's how I thought. If I'm gonna do this life, I'm gonna do this life obeying God and living with the consequences of getting it wrong. Mm-hmm. Not obeying and being paralyzed by fear. I'm not doing that. So I broke up with her. Did not go at all. Well, I mean, you don't really think any breakups are going to go well, but you know, when you kind of feel like you heard it from God and you kind of say, hey, I feel like God said
he going to take care of all that.
Yeah, it ain't go the way I thought it was going to go at all. So I do agree with you in that if you hear God, go. If you don't hear God, stay. But do not be paralyzed because you don't hear God. Mm-hmm. Because there's a real thing that God trusts you to. And so that is I'm honestly glad you said that, because I think that is how me and you have developed our relationship. I feel like God said this, so we're gonna do it. Mm-hmm. I feel like God told me to quit doing that. We done. I talk to kind of not summarize everything that we talked about, but in the space of faith, how important is it? Because you grew up, this is like your arena. Mm-hmm. Like you grew up in the church. Even if you lived a life outside of it at some point, you grew up in it, the same as I did. So talk about how having been in the church, leave the church, go to the world, leave the world, come back to the church. Talk about how necessary faith is.
Well, that time I was actually going to ask something to what I said last, so that I can answer this question and just time it together.
Yeah.
But if you do go without confirmation, you can invite God in, and He can still change the situation. Because I've done that quite often.
Good. That's so good.
So I wanted to say that because I thought about the people that are like, that like want to give up because they made a mistake.
That's so good. Yeah.
And if you're hard on yourself like I am, you're in your head like, well, no, it's all over. I'm finna. So what happened when I got laid off? Well, it's
Yeah.
But no, you can be in your mistake.
Yeah.
I'm in the weed industry for 4 years, getting high every day. That's not what. So now I'm thinking, why did you allow all of this for me? Now you just wanted me to fail.
Yeah.
You allowed me to go through that whole.
Yeah.
But He used all of that. So I would say faith.
Wow.
Faith can be strengthened actually by you being disobedient if you just invite God in. The woman I'm married to now, God did not tell me to go get with her. I wanted her and pursued her without God's approval. I told y'all this story in B Group. And then we got about 3-4 months in, hell is breaking loose. We getting stole from. Yeah. We're at each other's necks, and I'm like, I don't know why I still like this girl, but God, I need comfort. I need you to help us. If I know I did this without you.
Yeah.
So I'm inviting you back in. I'm praying this prayer in the bathroom, in the shower.
Yeah.
And from that moment on, slowly, it wasn't magic, but slowly, things started to change. Her heart started to change. She was in a dark place. She was an unbeliever. I won't call her an atheist. She was aware of God, but didn't want him.
Yeah.
She was aware of God, but didn't want him. And you can fact check all of this.
No, this is very true. Shout out Candace, man.
So I watched God. After I made that mistake, I'm in a relationship for 4 months that He did not tell me to be in.
Yeah.
I invited him in and he changed. Now we're married. We were just dating, obviously, at the time. So I would say faith is the very least of what you need. Yeah. You more so need trust, though. Because I don't somebody told me this. I don't want to plagiarize. I don't remember who it was.
Yeah.
But it changed my perspective. But faith
Yeah.
is basically the noun,
Yeah.
and trust is the verb.
Ooh,
They didn't word it like that. They said faith is knowing God can, trust is knowing God will. But I understand it as faith is the noun, trust is the verb. The same way knowledge is the noun, wisdom is the verb.
Wow.
There's a lot of us that are knowledgeable,
Yeah.
but how many people use that?
Wow.
So that's the difference in a wise person and a knowledgeable person. I want to be wise and I want to trust God.
Wow. Yeah.
So faith is extremely important. Know that God can and that he's here, yes.
Yeah.
But go a step further.
Yeah.
That's why you got to take that walk. Even if you don't think if you think you heard God, go.
Yes.
It's okay.
Yes. Yes.
He's big enough to fix your mess. Yeah,
Yes.
go ahead.
He can redeem.
Yeah.
He can redeem.
Yeah.
I was looking for. Mike preached a message that talks about the redeeming part. It was in the couples. I don't remember. But he talked about how God can redeem. Basically, what you said about you doing something without God, how God can redeem that. I don't remember. I need to figure out that message because it was honestly really good. Because it's sat in. Because there's things that I said, there's things that I chased that had nothing to do with God just because I wanted them, and got some of those things, and then had to ask God. Oof,
Yeah.
hey buddy, I actually realized that I didn't do this with you in the first place. Not saying he wouldn't have allowed me to have it, but my experience with it would have been different. And so yeah, I think that whole first of all, sorry. The verb and now, I ain't never heard that before. That was good. That right there, I think someone needed it. That part right there. I think there was someone, and I'm saying this because I asked that question because I felt there are some people that will watch this and fear will cripple them.
Mm-hmm.
Fear will cripple them and it will distort God's voice. It'll be a lot of them and a lot of God. Because they heard what God said, but they didn't like what God said.
Mm-hmm.
And so then self-interest, self-reason, everything self can come in and kind of scoop what God said out or distort it and say, yeah, God said do this part, but not really this. So I'm going to say yes to God, but I'm going to actually keep you here. I'm going to keep you here for a little bit. I'm going to do what I can, keep you around until God actually, so I feel like I clearly heard God. And no, you clearly heard God. And that's why I love when you said, even if you don't fully know, if Mike preached a sermon a long, long time ago, 51% of you has to feel like you heard God. If 51% of you does, let's go.
Mm-hmm.
Because you rather live life like that. I would hate to live life like, dang, 49% of me doesn't understand, or 51% of me doesn't understand God, like, and then the 49 be like, and you just kind of get rid of it. Because that's essentially what it is. I feel like, damn, we do this all day, huh? What do you, in your life, what are you asking God for? Not materialistic.
Okay.
It can be internally. It could be strengthening your wife, like strengthening you and your wife. What are you asking for? And what are you asking for? And why are you asking?
Clarity, so that I know his voice. I say a prayer every day, and I say, God, help us to hear you, feel you, and see you more than we do anything or anyone else.
Yeah.
So that we move according to the way we're supposed to.
Yeah.
I also want to add to the last point to say that God does bless your intentions.
Yeah.
So that's why it's okay to go even if you're unsure.
Yes.
It's because there's been times where maybe I didn't hear him all the way or clearly.
That's so good.
But my intention was to please him.
Yeah.
So he'll still, that's all. He weighs the intentions. Humans look at the outer.
Yes.
So because if your intentionality every day, if your intention is to live for God, to do what he wants you to do, don't worry about the mistakes you're going to make.
Yeah.
So I think the answer for me is clarity.
Yeah.
so that I can hear him, but I want to be able to hear him so clear that I don't second guess anymore.
Yeah.
And I don't know, maybe it's never going to be that way.
Wow.
But at this point, I believe that I can get to a point without having to be a priest
Yeah.
or somebody that's high up in a church.
Yeah.
Just as an everyday human being.
Yeah.
That can be like, okay, God told me to give you $100. Here you go.
Yeah.
Whether or not I needed it or not.
Yeah.
So I just want to move with fluidly, with clarity.
Yeah. I love it.
Yeah.
I love that, and I love that because I know this last year, we clearly walked this last year together.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, you've called me and said, "Hey, bro, I need to pull up on you.
Mm-hmm.
We got to talk about something." You've called me and said, "Hey, bro, I need to talk tomorrow."
Mm-hmm.
You called me, bro. I can't do this no more. It's been very real.
Mm-hmm.
Very vulnerable, very transparent, and I thank you for that, because it does something. It not only does something for you, it does something for me. And I would never take for granted that, because I know how hard it is to open up. But then I also know how hard it is after you open up.
Mm-hmm.
That's the hard part, because it's like, hey, I've let someone in. You can now do with it what you please. And for real people that have faced real things, that is like the linchpin into transformation almost.
Mm-hmm.
Is the vulnerable and transparency. Because like you can get everything, you could quit the porn, you could quit the weed, you can quit the drugs, but until you be vulnerable with someone, you don't fully know change. Because the weed, drugs, porn,
Yeah.
it is the thing that kept you.
It's counterfeit. Yeah.
Yes. It is the thing that you actually, vulnerability is the thing that you actually want, but because you're not willing to almost do it, it's like, let me just go back over here in my little corner with my little stuff. And so yeah, I thank you for that, and I thank you for showing that on here. I think I said it a couple episodes, the second, I don't know, I said a couple episodes ago. This platform will always be a platform. Whoever steps on the mic, I hope and pray that they feel safe enough to be vulnerable, safe enough to be transparent, because what broke off you when you first did it is breaking things off of people that we'll never see. So you are a part of change. You're a part of real change. We might not ever see we might not ever reap the benefit of it, but you are the cause of people's lives transforming because you decided to be vulnerable. And I thank you for that. Because I know what it takes. I know what it takes, I know what it took, and I know what it will take to keep going. It is a very real place, a very vulnerable place. And you are one of many that I hope sit right here and allow people to see the version of themselves that had a gun out, that was ready to go, that had the version, the person that was looking at their wife was like, I don't know if I can do this anymore. The version of you that was in the drug industry. You didn't even tell them this. The version of you that was in the drug industry and you were preaching to people.
Yeah.
Like you were actually in over the counter. Yo, yeah, you gonna make you feel good, but also got this sermon you need to get up on,
At the
boy.
dispensary.
And
ask the people that on 63rd Street, Stability Cannabis, James Ford. Ask about it.
I know
you can go look at the reviews on Google
was
today.
handing y'all that Zah, but then was giving y'all that Yahweh. I know he was doing that, boy, bruh. But I think that even that says who you are. You knew, your spirit knew what it needed.
Yeah.
Your spirit always knew. And that, I mean, that's like, and I hope that is the end goal, or not. I hope that's what people get out of this whole thing. Is your spirit knows what it needs. Your spirit knows what it wants. It needs vulnerability. It needs transparency. It needs accountability. It needs all these different things that we just sat here and talked about. But you, along with community, along with God, are the only person that can truly unlock that.
because that there is something that I think my therapist said is God is a very impractical God, but then God is a very practical God. And I believe it. God is the God that can actually heal someone, but God will also say, before I heal you, you need to get up off the couch and do something.
Yeah. I gotta add this because it just came to me. Your payment for healing is vulnerability.
Oof.
Everything costs. Not everything costs money.
Wow.
But I believe that's
Payment
why
for healing is vulnerability.
we keep mentioning how the transformation happened after we.
Yes.
And I think once you decide to finally open up, when God he'll bring you the people you can do that with.
Yeah.
So how did I know I can open
That's
up
so
to
good.
y'all?
Yeah.
Is what comes from the heart reaches the heart.
Wow.
So you can feel when someone's genuine. You can feel when someone's spirit is off. You can feel, okay, are they?
Yeah.
Something about y'all before I knew you said, I could trust these guys.
Yeah.
I didn't know who you were, where you were from, who your parents was, none of
Yeah.
that. But I'm like, something about this space says I can be open with them.
Right.
But I think we've given our payment.
Yeah.
So now we're in the process of healing.
Yes.
But it did cost.
It costs.
It cost us getting out of our shell.
It costs everything you've ever known because you built your life. Like for me, I won't say it for you, but it cost me everything I know because I built my life on a facade.
Yeah. What you wanted people to think. Yeah.
So I had to break down. Not only did I have to break down the walls of who people thought I was, I had to break down the walls of who I thought I was. That's a completely different battle.
Yeah.
Because then you have to be able to go in your room, look in the mirror, and say, "You ain't this." And I'll never forget it. I remember that day. But yes, no, I completely. Vulnerability is the payment.
For healing.
The payment for boy, that is so good. That is so good. Might be the title of this boy. We ain't got a title for that boy yet. That might be it. That is so good. That right there is a great way, obviously, I think, to wrap it up, but that is a great way to describe, I think, you have made vulnerability your payment. And because you've reaped the benefits of it, but then you've also seen what it does for others.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing.
Bro.
When you open up, now they feel like, oh, now I can tell you my stuff because you just told me that. No, let me tell you about me. Don't feel bad because, you just like, you don't even know. You're like somebody's starter,
bro,
in a car.
That you are holding the start. You are holding the match to light someone's fire. We're all holding a match. That's why I want that. That's good. We are all holding a match to light someone's fire in whatever area of life that they need a fire lit. We are, but that only comes with your vulnerability. They'll only know that you have the match with your vulnerability. And once again, I just thank you for that. We're still trying to figure out a way how to close out a podcast, so we're going to do it very awkwardly every time until we actually figure it out. So we sit down. I don't know if that's like a group decision or just a my decision. But no, James, I thank you.
Oh yeah.
I love you, bro. You know,
love you, brother.
We got so much more. We're about to go film more today.
Yeah.
I'm excited for this journey, not only for this pod journey, but for our life journey. For me, you, even Bryce in the room. I'm excited for us to get closer. I'm excited for us to walk through, not to plug the pod, but the unknown.
Yeah.
Because I think that is truly why God put us around each other, is to be able to stand firm and walk with each other through anything. So I thank you for that. And to everyone watching, you know what to do. If you like it, comment if you want. I don't care. Subscribe, share with your peoples, and we'll catch you on the next one. What Alex say? What did Alex do? When he ended it, what did he do?
Welcome to the unknown. Is that what he said? Did he say welcome to the unknown?
He went like this. And said
I remember what he did.
Yeah. So we just gonna do this.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to live it gently in the unknown. God is with me everywhere. This place is where I call home.